5. Romans chapter 5, verses 3 through 5. Not only so, but we rejoice in our suffering. How many of us actually want to be with Paul and say, I'm going to rejoice in my suffering? I know I'm going to be at the back of the line with that one, saying I want to rejoice in my suffering. But Paul says, no, we're called to rejoice in our suffering, because we know that the suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character produces hope, and hope does not disappoint us, because God has poured out His love into our hearts by the Holy Spirit. We rejoice in our suffering because suffering makes us stronger, persevere. We can go longer. You know, when you're advertising that laugh thing, you want to go off and run a 5K and you've never done it before, you start small and you get the perseverance. And there is suffering when you start to run. I mean, there's a lot of pain. You're aching, you're sweating, you're gasping for air. But the suffering produces in perseverance. Over a while, you start to be able to run a mile or a mile and a half, 2 miles, and then you can do 3 miles. Produces perseverance. Perseverance, character. Wow, man, I can do this. Character, hope. I can go farther, and hope doesn't disappoint us. Okay, that's sort of the looking at it from the running standpoint, but think about it within your own life, spiritually walking with the Lord. I just want to ask this question this morning, or a couple of questions here. Which one of these, and don't answer, don't raise your hand, just answer in your heart. What one of these phrases best describes you? I never worry about anything. If you do, would you talk to me, because I could use some lessons from you? But, are you a person that would say, I never worry about anything. God's in control. I continually worry about decisions I made and the results or the outcome. I'm anxious over the well-being of my loved ones. My son and daughter-in-law with the 2 grandkids, they have taught me a lot, because I tend to watch the kids when they're infants, and if they don't get up after 2 hours from a nap, I go in there and look to make sure they're breathing. And Jesse and his wife, daughter-in-law Kathy, have said to me, ever since Maverick's been born, no, Dad, we don't worry about that. Because if something happens, God's in control. Sit back and think, whoa, I'm worried about the grandkids sleeping, and you're saying God's in control. It's okay. So are you anxious over the well-being of loved ones? I instinctively attempt to fix everything. Okay, I don't mean to be looking at certain people when I say that. With some of these questions, I'm not focusing on you. Sorry about that. But do you instinctively attempt to fix everything? I have a tendency to feel sorry for myself over situations that take place, feeling like it's taking place to me. Or are you one who is, I am learning daily to trust God in all the areas of my life? I am often overwhelmed by my circumstances, but I am trying to seek God in them. Oops. Can you jump back, Dick? One more. I'm trying to seek God in them. So as you look at those 7, on the back screen there's numbers 1 through 7. Up here we're missing the numbers 1 through 7. As you look at that, just sort of ask yourself, where do you fit? Now, do you fit in one area? Do you fit sort of in quite a few of them? Are you learning through life's testing that God is sovereign over all? And Job says in Job 19, in the midst of his friends assuming things about him, Job says, I know that my Redeemer lives, and on the earth, and that in the end he will stand on the earth. And after my skin has been destroyed, yet in my flesh I will see God. I myself will see him with my own eyes, and not another. How my heart yearns within me. We're going to watch a video of a song right now, and as we're watching it, I want you to think about this fact of, I know that my Redeemer lives, with the knowledge that God is sovereign. We tend to assume things of each other, but God is sovereign. And that Job, though he lost it all, can say, I know that my Redeemer lives. Job doesn't have the Messiah yet. Job is